Celebrating Black History Month. Sponsored by Eskenazi Health, McDonald's, Richard M. Fairbanks Foundation, and Bose McKinney & Evans.
Wish TV celebrates Black history and the current needs of a 125-year-old nonprofit. Flanner House is described as an epicenter of support, starting in the days of the Great Migration.
Thousands of African Americans moved north in the years after slavery, and many settled right here in Indianapolis. News 8's multicultural reporter Katira Winfrey shows us how the organization continues to fulfill a vital role.
The Flanner House started as a tool to promote the social, moral, and physical well-being in the African American community. And in the 1940s, started to build what would be known as Flanner homes right in this community near Crispus Attucks High School. Now, many black soldiers weren't able to cash in on the GI Bill, but many who did found their place right here in this area.
The Flanner House was built on more than just wood. Its foundation laid with pride.
The neighborhood was mostly African American when I was growing up.
It welcomed in a group of people who made a lot out of a little.
I grew up in the Flanner homes. Flanner homes were homes that families built, and they got sweat equity, low-income loans for working on their own homes.
State Representative Vanessa Summers is part of that foundation because her father helped lay it. Like many others between the 1930s and the 1950s, helped build the family home with sweat equity. She reflects on the joys of her youth.
If there were 20 kids on our street all day long, that was just how it went.
Today, she walks in her father's shoes, holding his former seat in the State House while living on the same block.
Dad got it before they passed. They made arrangements to hand it over to him. So my sister lives in our house that I grew up in, and I live in my godparents' house, and we share a driveway.
The Flanner House opened its doors in 1898, focused on servicing a growing population of black people who'd migrated north from southern states, some who'd been formerly enslaved, focused on moving people out of positions of crisis and vulnerability to positions of self-reliance, self-sufficiency.
Fleeing the South, they got here, and while things weren't necessarily great here, they were better than where they had come from, so folks began to settle. And there were liberal, open-minded, very progressive white folks who saw what was happening and were outraged by it. One of whom happened to be the wife of Frank Flanner.
Initially, it served as sort of a community center offering training, education, food co-ops, and much more. It evolved into Flanner Homes Incorporated.
Less than 10% of all of the black men who enlisted to serve during World War II, who were promised the benefits of the GI Bill, actually got them. Less than 10%. About 80% of all of the black folks who did get them actually got them here in Indianapolis because of the work of Flanner House.
Brandon Cosby is the current executive director.
This is the Colton Street location, so
Was that the first location?
This was the very first location in 1898.
Flanner House was built on the idea that we'd reach a place of solvency for the social challenges, institutional and systemic racism. And that pattern of work continues in the following decades as that goal hasn't been reached.
Quite frequently, when I'm asked to come and speak places, I say the beautiful thing about Flanner House is that we've been in the business of meeting the unmet needs of the black community for 125 years. The problem with Flanner House is that we've been in the business of meeting the unmet needs of the black community for 125 years.
But those foundational tools keep the work alive, pushing past the impacts of deep-seated racism from redlining and home loan access to provide long-awaited opportunity.
So there were people who financially could afford to own a home, who had the credit to qualify for financing to own a home, but had never attempted it because of the stories that they had been told about what had happened to their parents and to their grandparents.
One of Flanner House's latest ventures is improving home ownership rates. Cosby says it's creating a foundation for family and generational wealth that had been absent for generations.
We were a neighborhood. Everybody played together.
Summers says as a child, the neighborhood was just the neighborhood. Today, she sees its value much more clearly.
I realized it later on. I just know that I was given a rich history and a rich childhood
Flanner House Executive Director says next they'll be leaning into their agricultural work, doing a ribbon cutting on a new greenhouse and mental health facility. Reporting in Indianapolis, Katira Winfrey, Wish TV, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.